We have Honorable Arthur Odera, we have Honorable Joe Tambo, and last but not least, Canon Weda. We had looked at what we have on the Standard, but let's now quickly look at the headline for the Daily Nation, which is Uhuru faces big test of a pay rise for civil servants. Uhuru faces big test of a pay rise for civil servants. Now, this is based, of course, on an agreement between government and civil servants, which is supposed to mature in June next year. But this, again, would be around the same time that the referendum would be taking place. And of course, right now we're constrained for funds and it's a tightrope to walk. And the pay increase for teachers and state workers will further drain government finances, which are already distressed by a rising debt burden and plunging revenues due to COVID-19 pandemic. However, the president could be forced to honor the deal to win support for the Building Bridges initiative. So let me start with you, Honorable Odera. This is somewhat a tightrope for the president to be walking, because he needs to win favor from the civil servants for Building Bridges initiative, but also with a very strained and empty, basket, so to speak.
Empty basket, mismanaged economy, doing very badly. Teachers who are increasingly demanding pay, and generally public servants demanding higher pay. Pay rise for public servants should be a natural thing every year based on their CBAs as negotiated, based on their union engagements, and so on. However, it is this culture of negotiating pay rise based on political deals that has brought us where we are. Because every time the government wants to get something done and needs the support of public servants or other people, a deal is negotiated that is flavored to favor the moment rather than for posterity, rather than to think about where the economy is going and whether that pay rise is sustainable. So, and again, I remember also that when Mwai Kibaki was president of Kenya, there were things that he inherited from the Moi government, and we need to bring a stop to this. Let's play politics in the political arena and not bring politics so much into the economy and have politics affect the economy, and we end up in a place where we cannot move forward. We cannot, for example, pay contractors in this economy. County governments are stuck. National government is stuck. And now we are facing another prospect of having to pay doctors more, pay public servants more. It must not be based on government wanting to pass a bill.
All right, and let me hear from Honorable Joe Tambo, your thoughts on this, a dilemma that the nation says is a civil servant's pay dilemma. And of course, it almost sounds like dangling a carrot before the civil servants purely for the sake of Building Bridges initiative, which is what, according to Honorable Odera, says has brought us where we are.
One, I don't think that it will be because of the BBI. It is because we have created a culture whereby our society believes in you give me, I give you. That even our politics today, Odera will tell you, when he goes to Tesco, when his pocket is empty, nobody will look at him. My brother Ambrose tried to go there with the empty wallet. He could not get even two votes. I don't know how many he got. He needed to go there with a big pickup load of money. So this is the society we have created, that for anything to happen in this country, there must be something in exchange. And our society has transformed itself, even to the institutions, even to the civil servants. The teachers will say, if you want our support, you must increase our salary. The doctors will say, if you want us to treat the people, you must do this. I want to believe that a salary should come naturally. In the increment of a salary, there is a procedure how one should get salary increment. But we have turned it to a political tool. So whether there is a BBI or there is no BBI, we have had strikes even when there is no BBI. And the people say that we are not going to do this when the BBI is not there. We are not going to support you because definitely election will come. 5 years around after the 5 years, election will be there. And if somebody wants to be re-elected, the teachers will say, okay, we are going to strike, otherwise we are not going to support your bid. We need to support the person who is going to add our salary. So it has become as Kenyans are being held ransom by their own behavior, the way we have cultivated ourselves. We have manifested ourselves to a culture whereby it is, you give me this, I give you that. If you do not, I am not going to give it. And this is the problem we are in. And little on this, don't Kenyans understand, it is not actually Uhuru Kenyatta. I will disagree with the headline, because it is not Uhuru Kenyatta who will be faced by this. It is Kenyans, because it is us who are paying the civil servants from the taxes we normally pay. Very soon you will hear that the taxes will go up. And very soon you will hear things which are not supposed to be taxed, like the essential commodities being taxed, because the government need to get the money to pay even for the existing demands. They have to meet their demands. And what we need to understand as a country is that we must live within our means. We cannot live outside our means, but we care no more. The country people care no more. Nobody cares that this is the status of our economy, this is what we collect, that's what we can afford. Everybody wants money in their pocket, and they care less that we have people who do not have means even to pay for their own social life, even to pay for a meal, even to have that insurance card. You will see people now paying even for insurance cards to get medical care, which is actually a responsibility of the government to take care of its own people. But as it is today, it will come from our pocket. So I disagree with the headline that it is who is being faced with this. It is actually us Kenyans who are faced with this. It is our problem which we are facing in the future.
All right, let me hear from Canon Weda. Empty coffers and deals that possibly were agreed a long time ago, but what kind of throws a spanner into the works is the fact that we have BBI. So the president may need to honor this, even if there is no money, so to speak, but so that he has favor for the Building Bridges initiative. Your thoughts on this, Canon Weda?
Yes. Ordinarily, it was an agreement which required to be honored. But along the way, COVID-19 intervened. And those who were cushioned well were government workers, civil servants. They were able to get their salaries, their incomes uninterrupted, notwithstanding that there were lockdowns, they were not working. So the president, as the CEO, is obliged to look at Kenya in terms of economic well-being and to think about renegotiating this deal to a future date. He should not be thinking about supporting BBI. BBI or no BBI, the country needs to move and to grow. If he was to cave in so that these people support BBI, then the economy will cave down. And when the economy caves down, it will lead the salary increases, it will increase our private investments, it will kill the country, and the president will be damned, whether he has BBI or not. You can have peace, but peace in hunger is just as traumatic as luxury in war. So the president needs to balance this. It is his Waterloo, he needs to look at it. And I really don't think that in economic terms, you look at BBI success or in success in terms of economics. You should look at it as we move. The shilling is now going down against the dollar. The IMF is coming. He wants people to be sacked, to be retrained. IMF wants people retrained. Now, if you increase the salaries of the existing ones, it will be even a bigger burden. We are now a salaried nation. Of all the total GDP collections, the taxes, a third is spent on salaries. Increasing that budget is dangerous. I ask the president not to practice voodoo economics, which will take us this. President Kibaki is still alive. I hope his mind is clear. Occasionally, you can go to him for tidbits on the economy. He excels. Otherwise, this BBI and reggae and wine, it may actually kill the whole country.
All right, and well, that brings us to 7:30, where I'd like us now to take a look at possibly, and just dissect part of the president's speech, which was on Jamhuri Day on Saturday. And he made a case again for Building Bridges initiative, which seems to be the focus for government right now. Let's listen into what some of the things that the president had to say before we get comments from the panelists.
On the spirit of inclusion, It does not augur well when at the top you have only two individuals in the form of the president and the deputy president, more so in an ethnically diverse nation as ours. This creates an environment of political exclusion, resulting in the cyclical violence that we have witnessed in every election. We can increase these positions in order to make the leadership of the country